Alexander I was the Tsar during the Napoleonic campaign. So Winter Palace now houses one of the hugest art collections called Hermitage. Hermitage, to translate from French, means a solitary place. That's the place which was founded by Catherine II, Catherine the Great, who actually extended the collection of Peter the Great and occupied several rooms of the palace with an exhibition. Only her closest friends were invited to see the exhibition. In one of her letters she wrote, "Only me and mice could enjoy the beauty I have collected." Now we're coming with you to the place where you can enjoy a good view and take big sea-going vessels. All the bridges across Neva River are drawbridges. And if one day you will have insomnia, you can come here and see how the bridges are open, how the ship passes, how many young people are singing, walking along the bank of the Neva River. Winter Palace, opposite side, Peter and Paul Fortress. 1703, on the 26th of May, Peter started his city. This is the birth of our city. It was constructed on a small island called Rabbit Island. Once there were lots of rabbits there. The main purpose of the fortress is to protect this newly recovered territory from the Swedes. From times immemorial, this territory was inhabited by Slavs, then conquered by the Swedes. Only in the result of Russian-Swedish War, or Northern War, which lasted 20 years, this territory was liberated. As a matter of fact, this territory was liberated earlier, 1703, just at the beginning of this war. So to protect the territory, Peter started the fortress. But pretty soon it lost its military designation, and another fortress was constructed in the Gulf of Finland, which is closer to Kronstadt. The buildings which you see here, this is a former custom house. The building further on, with the Mercury on the top, that is a former stock exchange. The green building with a tower, see it? Yeah, this is the first museum ever founded in Russia. Chamber of Curiosities. Peter adored to collect something unusual. There are Siamese twins here, unusual tree, some botanical miracles. He collected everything here in this Chamber of Curiosities. As Russian people didn't know what the museum is, they didn't want to come. To encourage people to come to the museum, a glass of vodka for a gentleman and a cup of tea for ladies were served. So no wonder it enjoyed the highest popularity in the city. It's open up to nowadays, so you can see the collection of Peter, though it grew with the years, and pretty hard to get into a museum because it works only, I believe, twice a week. Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not. Well, that's it. As to the spire, which you see, the golden spire of Peter and Paul, this is the cathedral, and we're going to have a special tour to Peter and Paul, so I wouldn't tell you more now. I'll tell you later about it. If you want to take pictures, you're welcome. We'll spend here maybe 10 minutes, okay?
Go to Mariner's scene here. Take a boat ride?
On the Hydrofoil, yeah.
On this river?
I think Friday afternoon. I don't know what river. Probably this river. It's raining.
This was the Winter Palace right here, right? That what you said was the
One of them,
collection is?
right? That's where the Hermitage is. Yep. Where did I put the umbrella?
Oh yeah. Go back. Right in between a couple of these red lighthouses.
You can see kids all over. The summertime began and the vacations began, so children from Leningrad, from other parts of the country come here for tours. To your left, a monument of Peter the Great, so-called bronze horseman, the founder of our city. The figure is done by a Frenchman, Paul Connet. The head of Peter was done by his wife, Maria Calot. Behind the legs of the horses you can see a serpent. A serpent is a symbol of enemy forces which prevented Peter from his perestroika. To your right you can see the 25. 5 leaders of the uprising were hanged, another were sent to Siberia for hard labor. To your right, the building with the horses, it's an exhibition hall. Once it was horse riding school. The huge built construction to your left, St. Isaac Cathedral, the last classical construction in our city. Built 1818, 1858, it was under construction for 40 years. We have a special tour to St. Isaac, that's why I wouldn't describe you the beauty of it. Inside it is a real treasury, because it is decorated with malachite, lattice lazuli. In the center of the square to your left now you can see the monument to Nicholas I, Russian Tsar. The monument is done by architect Claude, a rear monument of an equestrian with only 2 points of support. Below you can see women figures who symbolize faith, justice, power. In reality they are the members of Nicholas's family. The building to your right, which is under restoration at the moment, once belonged to his daughter, to Nicholas I's daughter, Maria. They tell a story that Maria never lived in this palace because she didn't want to see her father back to her. When they tried to move the monument, it appeared that Nicholas was standing with the back to St. Isaac. The priests opposed to that, so she took it as an insult, never lived in this palace. Now the palace is occupied by our city council, or city soviets, city hall in other words. Story that Hitler planned to have his victory party over Leningrad here in the restaurant of Astoria Hotel. Now it is under restoration. It's a charming hotel, completely different from the modern constructions which we're making at the moment. It has completely different flavor as all old hotels have. To Petersburg by Russian Tsar Alexander I. After the Napoleonic campaign, Alexander visited France, and the young man approached him and showed him his admiration to Russia, to Russian Tsar, showed him several drawings for the future monuments which he would like to construct in Russia, and Alexander invited him here. He built quite a lot of things here, surmounted with a chariot of horses. Now there are several offices here. The buildings to your right are the few former residences of Russian nobility. This is a marble palace. It was the present from Catherine II to Count Orlov for organizing coup d'etat against Peter III, the husband of Catherine II. In the result of